Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 399. More UFO videos and UAPs to look over. Remember, 99% are mundane or hoaxes.
I'm finding love, I'm hiding, I'm searching, I'm loving, I'm finding love.
And you should only trust any videos that have been submitted to experts like MUFON. If a guy watcher runs a UFO channel and doesn't submit it to experts, then don't trust what they're telling you.
I'm searching.
Hey,
I'm loving.
Pause that. So it seems lag is not there. Hello, good to be back. Another live stream. It's the easiest way to do videos. Editing is like 10 times longer. Editing is tedious stuff, but sometimes you have to do it. Okay, we got Mr. Grey, Mr. Small Grey up with us here, and hope everybody's been good. Well, I've been running around with my own health issues at the moment, which has been chewing up my time, but they still ain't found anything. So yes, a mystery. So anyone out there? You could support the channel by sending a tip. Don't have to be live. You can send tips anytime, and they'll sharpen the list next time we're on live here. But if you do it while we're live, you get a little dancing alien thanking you for the tip, and you can even send a message that goes to the screen. Hopefully it's not a nice message, not a horrible message. There's not much we can do to edit it out nowadays. Well, I suppose we can. On Twitch it's easy, you can just edit and then upload it elsewhere. But on YouTube it used to be harder. You can see the BitChute counts are going up still. We're on our way to 1400 now. And thanks for everybody that's subbing. We just need to get more of you to join the Twitch live shows. Hopefully when BitChute adds a live option, which should have been by now I reckon, more of you will join me. Welcome to the OT channel, Live-399. So next time is a birthday cake, I remember. Today is Butterfly UFOs and ancient tools. What else? Spheres. It's pretty boring really lately. Everybody's still focused on the Corbell stuff, which looks like it's a nothing burger again. Even if it was a drone, we still have no idea whether it's aliens or not. So yeah, plane. Everyone say it's a plane, but who knows? You know, it's just a light in the sky that's blinking like a plane would. And drones do that too, unless they turn off the lights. So yeah, did that come up alright? Yeah, it looks like it did. Let me just test out a few things here. Why is it not scrolling? Silly thing. There, it has taken over the scroll rule. Okay. Yep, looks good. Yeah, the volume control uses the horizontal thumb wheel to also adjust it, and there's no way to turn it off. So if you hover in the wrong place on the taskbar, it grabs it over the magnifier. That's Windows for you. They should have an option to say this app gets the controls before anyone else does. And you get around all those little stupid little errors. IBM tried to take on Microsoft and failed with their OS Warp. Remember that? They tried to sell it to the students at reduced cost, but it was a bunch of shit. It really was. The best thing about it, though, was the idea of using time slicing like proper Unix. And everything would get a time slice, even rather than event-driven, which was based on interrupts, and it can, when you get a crash on a driver, it could hang up Windows. But OS Warp would allow you to close it down and reload it without having to reboot the whole Windows. So it was actually better concept, but the graphics was pretty clunky. And of course, it got abandoned. Supply versus demand, I guess. Bill Gates won. Anyway, enough talk about computer talk. Let's talk about UFOs. Alright, I'll just post a link before I do that. So if you want to send a tip in Twitch About tab, there's the thing. But now we've added it to our WordPress webpage. And not sure if I can add it to the description. Let's see if I can do it while it's live. For tips and other vital links. Let's see if we can save it. Anyway, looks like it might have saved it without crashing. I'll post it also here, but now it'll be in the description forever, hopefully, each time I queue it. So if we go to WordPress, it should be updated now. Plex edits it for us while I've been working on the alien head and other things. Let's see if it comes up. Okay, cookies. So it's got Twitch, YouTube, BitChute, Discord, and then it's got subscribe star for monthly. Now I've asked them to change this logo here to a coin jar, because it's not really, it's using OBS, but it's not actually Streamlabs. So there's a donation tip link there, $1 to $10. And what's that last one? The Merc store. Looks like it's got clipped here though. I also wanted to be able to embed a video of some of the best videos we've got. I'm not too sure why the UFO vanished there, but obviously you couldn't scale it to size. Maybe it comes up on different devices. But anyway, so yeah, if you click on Streamlabs, so this one here, tip, use this for one-off tip donation. That should take you here, where you can specify how much you want to tip. Actually, it goes up to $20 now, so that's a mistake as well. And you can type your message. You don't need to add any of the other fancy ones. But if you do, you have to pay OBS a commission, which I don't get any of. I was glad that they have removed it now though. They made it with switches instead, so I've updated it. But you'll get Dust and Alien. There's a preview of what's going to happen when you type your message and send a donation via PayPal or credit card. And yeah, it should be easy. And yep, it's looking good. So first up, probably won't start with that. So talking about Corbell Mick thing, he's now looking at the stars and trying to match it to the star charts to see where they were looking, because they had a rough idea. And he's saying that there's the 3 stars at the start of the video when he zooms in, and then that's Jupiter. But even so, it doesn't seem to add anything to the discussion, whether it's an alien craft, plane, or whatever, you know. So what, they've got the location right, and there's a flight path of planes next to it. Still doesn't rule out it could be a drone that they're filming. Of course, they put it in the logbook as a drone, didn't they? What kind of drone? Who knows? Because if they got a triangle shape on front, it's always going to form a triangle shape. So yeah, he's got some more stuff there too, of more star maps, I believe. If you want to go to metabunk, which is Mick West's website. Why they go to town on something, I don't know. That seems a bit overkill. And then he's overlapping where the scope was to the stars in the sky. Yeah, okay. I guess that's trees there, is it, on the island? Was it island? Were they next to an island? Or was it? They're meant to be on a ship, I thought. Russell or something. That does look like trees there. Mind you, they were close to islands. Still, what we need to hear is some speech from the anonymous witness describing it, right? The eyewitness testimony is missing here, really. I tried to join Mick's site a year ago, and I said Steve Barone is either delusional or a well-established hoaxer, and he deleted my comment because I'm not allowed to say that on his blog site. You're not allowed to insult people. Overkill, right? What's the point? Free speech is long dead. So if you want to look at the Corbell vs Mick West continued, go ahead. To me, it's boring. Boring as hell. I want to see HD daytime footage of these things, and then we're in the money. And I don't think even UFO Interest is putting up anything useful lately, apart from following Mick around. Still talking about Corbell footage here. New York Post put up something about Mick West's debunk. So it's like New York Post versus Fox News, I guess. I don't know, because Corbell was on Fox News, wasn't he? Yeah, it's all the same. And of course we've got the rover doing the test flights of the silly little flying drone thing. But I suppose it's testing out things, right? How many minutes does it take to get signal back to Earth? So it's like 3 minutes delay, isn't it? We worked it out once. Time for radio. No. I reckon it's 3 seconds. Surely not. I suppose it could be. I suppose. I thought it was 2.5 minutes. But it's seconds. I got it wrong. Now that's why it's always best to check up. Just take off one of the unit. Get the units wrong. So that means they can almost fly at real time, I guess, if it's 3 seconds. So that's like 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. So it's going to be a bit delayed, and it's got to transmit it back, the signal back. So it's really a 6-second delay, isn't it? So anything could go wrong there. So you want a wee bit of AI control where it always can land itself in emergency, right? Okay. And I don't think that's the best footage. But you can see here it's all talking about the Corbell stuff on his page. So on to the next bit. Yes, Parabreakdown did this incredibly good video, which I'll play here, part of it, and then we'll relate it to some stuff that's being pushed out by Third Face to see how ridiculous they are. So apparently this is meant to be a fossilized hammer, and you can listen to the details here. I'll just get it in the right spot.
Areas is brought to you by tripenicillin, made from mole. Pair it yourself. At walking along the course of the Red Creek near the town of London.
Okay, I'll just adjust
Not
the volume.
London as we know it, but London, Texas. It's a hammer, but not just any hammer. It's said to be an ancient hammer, like millions of years old. A hammer sealed in stone. According to geologists who examine the object, the rock around it is over 100 million years old. Surely, human history doesn't stretch that far back, right? Well, the metal hammerhead was subjected to several tests. Sophisticated electron microscopes showed it was made up of 96.6% iron, and that it had been forged. The handle was made of wood that had become petrified, and this process is known to take a long time to occur. The rock holding the hammer was cracked open in 1942. The prying on the rock made a scratch in the bare metal under its layer of rust, and in more than 70 years that exposed metal has not corroded one bit, despite the hammer being made of iron. Now, looking at it, it's obvious from its form and structure and chemical composition that it is a relatively modern artifact. We have all seen hammers just like it. Its design is consistent with a 19th century miner's hammer, or maybe a farrier's hammer. A farrier was a person who put horseshoes on horses. Now, many hammers of similar form and composition are known from that time period. The only unusual thing about it is that it is surrounded by rock. But that is only unusual to people who don't understand the process of concretion. Yeah, repeat after me, concretion. The hammer in question apparently fell into a wet, mineral-rich area and had rock concretions form around it. The key operative word here is concretion, a type of stone that forms quickly, often very quickly, in mineral-rich areas. Concretions frequently are just a few years old, rather than millions of years old, like most rocks. The hammerhead itself was at the front of the debate about its date, but What about the handle? Well, there are reports published which say the handle was radiocarbon dated to anywhere from 0 to 700 years old, which would be consistent with it being an artifact from the 1800s.
Correct.
You see, radiocarbon dating is a bit less accurate on something so young, hence the range of 0 to 700 years, but certainly not millions or even thousands of years old. Other observers have noted that the hammer is stylistically consistent with typical...
As we pointed out in the past live shows, that carbon-14 is not really accurate because they found that the amount of carbon-14 in the atmosphere or the Earth's atmosphere changes every year, and it's not constant, so you can't work out the rate of decay if it's always changing, right? So they had to look at other radioactive decay minerals in rocks to validate as well the date of the rocks or wood or whatever, organic material. So the church was all up and happy when carbon-14, the carbon dating, was exposed that it may not be as accurate as we first thought. But if you kept a log of all the carbon-14 in the atmosphere from now on, then you could have a more accurate forecast, right? So you can always adjust the calculations, but we don't know what it was like a million years ago. So also it depends on radioactive activity being constant, because it may have been different millions of years ago. Everything's based on the Big Bang, everything was created from the Big Bang, so the so-called believers of it believe, scientists believe, and it starts decaying after that point. But there's a lot of problems with that theory and lack of radiation in some of the atoms out there in space, which doesn't add up. So there's always problems which they try and patch, as I call it. One of them was to introduce dark matter and dark energy into the Big Bang theory, and that's all it is a theory. But yeah, what he's saying here is concretions can form around other objects. We've seen concretions with the so-called stone UFOs, which are basically where the roots of a tree was, or the base of a tree was, and it turns it into stone, pretty much petrifies it. And of course miners come across them, and then the ancient tree stump that breaks off, it forms this kind of round UFO shape. I've talked about that before on my UFO case files. If you've not seen it, about the stone UFOs, it's only like 6 minutes long. Go and check it out. It's quite interesting what I found, the research on concretions. Of course you get the big round stones as well, that sort of have the right composite of minerals in the side of the hill, and it sort of wears down and it rolls outside the hill and forms these big boulders around the world. New Zealand's got some, and South America's got some, and because people thought they were carving them, but again, it's Mother Nature. So yeah, when you find out the science of rock formations and all that, and then people making claims of ancient tools, and it turns out to be in a concretion layer, they don't tell you that.
Typical American tools manufactured in the region in the late 1800s. The stone is real, and it looks impressive to someone unfamiliar with geological processes. As far as the item really being old, technology, as important as iron, is studied very extensively. If iron smelting had developed earlier than known, it would have changed history completely. So it is obvious that they didn't have iron. The production of iron was never developed and then lost. If it was, then it's ironic that they duplicated a typical 19th century style hammer perfectly. There is an anachronistic verse in the Bible, Genesis 4:22, that talks about a grandson of Methuselah, who was a forger of instruments of bronze and iron, but no such ancient iron tools have ever been found, except for a few small exceptions that were made from fallen meteorites. It would take the development of furnaces hot enough to smelt iron to be able to create these hammers. Logic dictates that the hammer is simply surrounded by a concretion that took place over decades, but convincing enough to fool those looking and hoping for the holy grail of antiquity. And since this video is drug on long enough, this is Parabreakdown, and thanks for watching.
So I've posted a link in the side chat there. I thought it was really good. Saved me having to go through it. Go through the science of this stuff. So now you compare that to the champion spark plug nonsense. I think it's here, third phase. So let's see what they're spouting here. And you can see they got a lot of double talk. Oh, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. But they still want you to believe the fantasy that aliens dropped it, or off of their spacecraft, that they use spark plugs. Anyway, let's have a quick look.
Some kind of spark plug or energy device. People were kind of baffled about what this was, and it went on for decades. But recently, in the last 10 years, there was some study done on this Koso artifact, and some people state that this isn't an artifact from an ancient civilization, but it's in fact a spark plug from the Model T Ford from the 1920s, known as the Champion spark plug to be exact. But now people are still looking at this mystery a little closer, and some people are finding that they can't find the exact match. They've reached out to spark plug experts, historians in the industry, and to this day, they have not found the exact match or like kind of manufacturing. They say it resembles the spark plug, but it isn't the exact match of the Model T. Okay,
so remember back in early days of airships, they used to have all these aviators. They had warehouses out on these remote areas, so they could do test flights away from the cities. More likely, the spark plug was thrown off an airship and placed into the motor to stop the airship crashing, or maybe even some plane they were working on. Combination of plane airship. Now, we've heard stories of airships in the sky before, 1800s, but there's been various researchers that sort of tracked down where all these aviators had their places, and the sightings weren't too far away from the warehouses. So yeah, ancient aliens in airships that kind of look like ghost ships. Who knows? But makes more sense that it's going to be man-made, right? The spark plug it suggests that it's using oil, diesel, that sort of stuff. And I don't think aliens would need that sort of energy requirements. And of course, you wouldn't use a spark plug for rockets, engines, right? You'd use a spark, but you wouldn't need a spark plug to keep igniting it at certain places, the liquids, because gas, once you ignite it, it burns, and you just keep feeding it more of the combination of oxygen and hydrogen, and it just keeps on burning. You wouldn't be firing it like a spark plug, So yeah, again, that's man-made technology. Why would aliens be bothering around with gases and liquids when they could be generating massive amount of voltages to drive ion engines, plasma engines. Plasma engines are a wee bit different than ion engines. You've seen the ion lifters that sort of create an ion wind and lift up. I'll bring up one ion lifter. Now, they claim that Townsend Brown was these lifters, right? Because they don't work in a vacuum. But I think the iron lifter was only part of what he was doing. And you can go and check out my documentary on Townsend Brown's research and stuff I found if you want to go and be amazed by stuff. But iron lifter, let's see if we can find a picture. There's no point in me re-hacking the stuff. Let's see if we've got some images rather than videos. So you've probably seen these before. They put a high voltage through and they just lift up. A bit like my permanent magnet TR3B project I was working on, but mine uses magnetics and it lifts up a certain amount of inches. And obviously they're very light, you see. They're made of tin foil. So getting a thing that's really heavy to be able to lift off is another thing. But here's one here talking about high voltage power supply for doing rockets. So I'm applying it to UFOs here. But yeah, very light things. But you want an iron plasma engine. Basically it takes in the atmosphere and strips off the electrons off the gases, and you can get a big like a plasma burst of energy out the back that pushes it along. And once you get outside the Earth's atmosphere, you don't need the atmosphere. You don't have a fuel anymore. But then you can still use this iron wind, which is less powerful, but still in space you got less resistance, so you can still move along quite fast. Why is it not? Let me type it in. Plasma engine. Don't know if we can find a picture of one. Here we go. We've got various drawings. So it takes in gases, atmosphere, and charges it, makes it more positive and negative, and shoots it at the back. We won't go into all the deep science of it, but you can see that seriously they've been looking at it for years, NASA and stuff. As long as you've got a power source, right? Obviously the power source in this case will probably be nuclear power, but we're not too far away in trying to get fusion power rather than fission power, which is another where it's combining the atoms and then releasing energy, versus the other way, splitting the atoms and releasing the energy, which then creates all these particles of radiation that kill people. Well, the other way it doesn't. It sort of joins it and then releases energy, which is the safe, clean nuclear process. But yeah, you can go and do some research on that if you want to. So this idea of using, Stanton Freeman was talking about working on nuclear engines. Well, this is probably some of the early ideas they had, and then they realized it was too dangerous, radiation, and too heavy as well. So they abandoned the project. But nuclear batteries is a new area now, where they're using low-grade radiation inside with diamond layers, and that's what they use on the rovers, and it keeps it warm and generates power through steam. And this goes around in an enclosed circuit, right? And you get electricity, but they also use solar cells because it's not quite enough. Because the sun goes down, doesn't it? And then it gets freezing cold at night, and your batteries don't work too well when they get frozen, so you need some sort of other backup energy to keep it warm. And Yeah, looks like nuclear is the way to go. You know, radioactive, which have like a 10-year lifespan, right? So, the thing is called nuclear batteries. So instead of dumping the waste from nuclear power plants, they can reclaim it and actually make it into batteries now, which is quite interesting. Have we got a picture of one? Nuclear battery technology, there you go. I can't quite read it, it's got very fine writing. And it's got a picture here of the diamond cell. What's that? Nickel. And a plus terminal. Nuclear battery packs 10 times more power. But how does it work? I suppose the radiation clicks into the diamond layer, which is actually carbon, and it releases electrons. So yeah, whether you have it in your laptops, I don't know. I suppose if the battery explodes, it would be like not much higher than background radiation, right? So it's probably fairly safe. Anyway, moving off the subject a bit. So back to ancient technology and their stupid comments. So he's always got that smirk on his face. He needs to look, they just don't come across credible as, if you had that on TV with a smirk like that, you'd think the guy's just having you on. I reckon they must do a lot of laughing, these guys. There we go, does another episode, another $1,000 in the bank. Easy come, easy go.
Ford champion spark plug. So even to this day, there's a lot of controversy behind it.
Yeah, so you heard my joke.
Some people say, well, it's in the geode.
He seems to be stuck on these champion spark plugs. What does Blake Cousins say when he's being anal probed? Champion! So yeah, it's an old joke. Like a guy said, you can put anything up my bum and I can tell you what it is. And so some smart ass mechanic found a champion spark plug and thought this a fallen. It's an old joke anyway. But this guy's stuck on champion for sure. Look at the smirk on his face. Yeah, I enjoy my champion spark plug.
And to form a geode, like a rock around this thing, it would have to be 500,000 years old. That's how old geodes are to form in this kind of a shape. But it's
so as we just found out, it could be a hoax. Someone could have drilled a hole in a rock and just put some glue in there and slid in the spark plug, because I don't think it's ever been cracked open. And it's been x-rayed, obviously. But as we found out, it could be concretion, and the rock may have, millions of years old atoms in it, but it was formed only 10 years ago or 100 years ago, or like the pickaxe. Yeah, it looks very similar. I'm not sure if we got a picture of it in the rock at all. Let's have a look. Champion spark plug and rock. I wonder if it'll come up. Looks like it. It's partly sticking out. It looks very similar to that hammer, doesn't it? So did they crack it open finally? That looks like it's been cracked open. Or is it similar? What they're saying about that one there. Science triumphs. Okay, what's science saying? Trumps over theorists. There you go. So it looks like it's been solved. What year was the article? Out of planet artifact. Yeah, like aliens use spark plugs. Proponents for the Costco artifact say that the material in which it was discovered is too old to have held such an item. Established estimates put the material around 500,000 years ago. However, there is another side to the story which you'll never hear on Third Phase of the Moon. Discovery. The Costco artifact was found by rock and geode hunters Mike Self. His parents had a sense of humour. I don't really want to read all that. The state of the Costco relies on assumption that it is a geode. Exactly. It's probably not. It's a concretion, probably. The only other known thorough physical examination of the Costco artifact found that the material was too soft to be a geode. It also lacked the telltale quartz crystals found in crystals. Some softer materials can form around a modern item relatively quickly, whereas a geode cannot. That renders the age estimate not necessarily incorrect, but based on faculty belief. The most telling part of the examination came with an X-ray of the item inside. It revealed that the metal was a cylinder with a screw-like item on one end and a flare on the other end. Okay, for a period of time following the investigation, the Costco artifact disappeared. The three individuals who found it no longer talked about it, and one may have since passed away. Nonetheless, the first investigation and the photos, including X-ray photos that resulted, have made it possible for experts. I need to check the audio as well. Experts to make some interesting discoveries about the item. Okay, the audio sounds good. I just have to keep checking it just in case it goes bad. The photos did not show a modern item inside of the geode. However, the item inside the geode was tentatively identified. Mystery solved. It's a 1920s champion spark plug. Pacific Northwest skeptic Pierre Strongberg took an interest in the artifact and decided to look into it. Unable to use the Cisco artifact as a point of reference, he used photos and X-rays taken, and the leading theory suggested that it was a spark plug, as it displayed many of the same characteristics. Oh, that's not good. That always corrupts the sound, I think. I clicked the wrong button. Is it still streaming alright? It only glitches the sound after that. So what are we looking at here? What's that say there? A more recent examination of the champion spark plug discovered encased in rock. So they're saying they found another spark plug. Definitely a spark plug, that one. Ceramic, yeah, definitely a spark plug. Screw. However, the screw-like end posed a problem. He contacted the spark plug collectors of America, asking them to identify it if possible. He received word back that the item had been positively identified as a 1920s spark plug used in the Ford T or Model A engines. There was no doubt in the man's mind. Other spark plug collectors confirmed that this Costco artifact is indeed a spark plug, just designed differently than the spark plugs we're used to today. The logical examination is that indeed a spark plug. The nail and washer discovered with the item somehow become encased in a hardened clay over the years. A re-evaluation confirms an honest mistake. Seems unlikely that this was a hoax given the hands-off approach that the discoveries have taken following the initial investigation. In April 2018, the family of one of the founders allowed Stromberg to conduct another examination by a geologist at University of Washington. The initial conclusion was correct. The item was a 1920 spark plug encased in iron oxide. And the Cisco artifact is now on display. Yeah, but is it a concretion rather than a geode? So yeah, it doesn't sort of answer that part of it. Well, they could at least show a side by side of the spark plug they reckon it is, couldn't they? Have we got a side by side at all? So was it sticking out like that? Because that looks like a spark plug there, doesn't it? So that must be it, surely. It's really a bit confusing. Is it another one, or is that their one? Because I would have said it was a spark plug with a bit sticking out. Well, if experts have looked at it and they've confirmed it to be a 1920 spark plug, I think that's the end of the story anyway. But not to these guys that keep recycling it. Downvote. Why doesn't the comments come up? Google, you damn useless. Too much JavaScript. Too much censorship. Is it going to come up? Are you going to go up? No. I just reloaded it too. That's ridiculous. Are they all doing that now? They're making it impossible to work with Brave now, I suppose. Hey, Google's up to something again. They're dirtbags. Dirtbag. Soon they disappeared a bit, I think. Let the alt media guys take over. I bet if I turn off the shield it'll probably work. Yeah. Let's see what happens. We get later ads instead. Although I think I might have ad blocker on. No, comments are not going to come up. That's so wrong, so wrong. Yeah, but I bet it's because ad blocker. Let me just turn that back on and turn off ad blocker maybe. See what happens. We're getting the ads. Buy the merchandise. But we're not going to get the comments. The comments have now been censored. What are we going to do about that? Is it down at the moment? Is that happening for everybody, or is it just me? Let's try Edge. Crash, crash, crash. Okay, this is just using ad blocker. Let's see if that come up. CPU's sucking away though. Yeah, do we get comments? We sure do. And it's on a black theme. So yeah, you can tell me that not mucking around with browser detection. I bet if they blocked Bill Gates' browser, they'd be all upset. Let's have a look. Try turn that off again. There's always something going on, isn't there? People should complain. Might just look back on. I'll close and reopen the browser just in case. Could be a cache problem. Maybe a clear cache or something. Here we are. Instead of doing UFO stuff, we're troubleshooting the game. Might have to figure it offline. Yeah, is it going to come up this time? They're coming down slow. No, it's not going to come up, is it? Dirty, rotten scoundrels. Okay, how do we clear the cache on this? Easy. There's no such thing as easy. More tools. Oh yeah, Brave puts it there. Makes it easy. More tools. Cached images. We don't want to get rid of cookies. Clear data. Okay, it could be corrupted file, of course. Okay, reload. I'm pretty sure the last stream we did it had the comments, but I can't remember if it to be precise. What's it saying there? Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Brave, YouTube. It's not showing. YouTube comments not showing. There we go. That was last year, so it must have got fixed. Okay, have we got any recent ones? Past month. 7 days ago. YouTube reply comments not shown. Brave. Dirty rotten scoundrels. YouTubers. And no one's answered. So since today, that's a week ago, 6 days ago, the reply comments has stopped working on YouTube, and I tried restarting app, phone. So he's using a phone. Clearing cache. Yep, we tried that. Right, and still done. Okay. Shame you can't reply using just Google or something. So these guys say, yep, same. YouTube app issues force me to use Safari. Brave ad not shown. Thanks, they're starting to show up on YouTube yet. They're finding ways to get around it. So what's going on here? Brave reveal why it's removing Flock. Google's attempt to replace third-party cookies. So they're up to something. Amazon, Microsoft, Twitter, they're all up to it. They need a good reason for a major refactoring, and I'm not one currently. So I told you they're up to something no good. Why get rid of cookies? They work. Should be called Flock with the U. Cancel. Sites are informed about browsing habits, even if the users never visited them. Flock adds a strong identifier for fingerprinting, so you can't be anonymous. Really bad idea. Google should not be the one determining what is sensitive and what is not. Correct? In fact, Google should go. Very interesting. Should post it on Discord. Here we go, and up here. So it looks like another form of censorship going to come in. They're going to track you down, guys. Track you down. But we didn't find a workaround. Unless you want to read comments in another browser. But we can get around that. So did anyone actually say... Brian Forrester, if he's on the third phase, that makes him a fraud. Anyone that works with third phase is a fraud. Simple as that. They're out there to try and make money by getting their face on a big channel, rather than ignoring all the fakes that they produced and the dishonesty. So, as you can see, the comments are pretty disappointing. These guys know the right things to focus on. Are you kidding me? These people are delusional. Yeah, thumbs down, because they're hoaxers and frauds, you dickwit. Do they bother to watch this? Of course we do. That's why we debunk them on a constant basis. Thanks for your hard work. You moron. How much did they pay you to say that? Great show. Bullshit. As Tyler Klotner said, gullible people is money in the bank. It's like the crystal skulls were faked as well. Even how it was found, it was planted by her father. So she would find it, the daughter would find it. Apparently they tracked it back to where he purchased it from a Indian merchant, I think it was. Middle East anyway. And yeah, it was manufactured. It wasn't handcuffed from a piece of quartz from outer space. Well, it could have been from outer space. Make it more believable that the crystals in it couldn't have been formed on Earth, but it doesn't mean that meteorite doesn't have quartz in it. And they might have carved it and hooked it off as an artifact.
Third phase of moon. Third.
Was there an advanced civilization over 500,000 years ago? There's archaeological
that faces you has a real large disc on it.
Yeah, so where did we go from the spark plug?
If you take a close look and you look at...
Alright, so we covered this one not long ago. What was that one? I think there was a bit of a tile, wasn't it? Turkish tile. You can see here, by looking at this type of rock, that looks like a concretion. So that looks like something from one of the ancient buildings, right? I think that was a tile. But we did cover it before. Let's see, ancient circuit boards, let's see. Can refresh our memory. They're saying it looked like a breadboard, circuit board. Let's see what comes up. Maybe they didn't call it circuit boards. And rock. fossilized fish there. Let's see. Ancient. What do we call it? Tall, maybe? What'd they call it on the video? I'll just close that down. Alright. Wrong one. That's all we're meant to be watching. That's what we suddenly switched to this one. Okay, we have to watch it here.
What are we looking at here? Some people even speculate that this could be indeed just a natural fossil formation found and embedded in rock.
Yeah, this is definitely a fossil. They're like little shells, right? That have rings going around. It's definitely a fossil. And they got a special name for it. Pretty sure someone would have posted it up here, but their comment would have got censored probably. Someone would have had it here. The rock and what was in it. Someone out there would have read the stories on it. But it was the breadboard one.
Naturally.
Be geode. So, what is it?
Perhaps the white one is actually a fossil as well. Let's see. Ancient. Got plug, screw. Let's have a look at screw. Okay, so again, that's a fossil. But it's actually a fossilized sea creature again with the ring pattern. There's the hammer. We just looked at that one. And here we go. Group plane screw could be proof of. But these are obviously fossils of the similar type thing. And you can see the rings. Alien screw. Here's a good one. Crinoids. That's what we're looking for. A crinoid fossil. Look how similar to what they're trying to push is. So instead of putting this up and doing a side by side, right? There's that one looking from the top with the ring pattern going around, and that's the side of it. Looks like a screw going down that way. Don't know if I can get any closer. There we go. Ancient aliens, no, sea life with the... Shows how amazing Mother Nature is able to form the screw. But then again, we got the idea of the screw from nature probably. So I think that sort of debunks the crap straight away. But the white breadboard one, see there's another fossil. Looks like their one. There's another one here that looks like they're everywhere, right? The screws. No, they're fossils. Fossils. There's another one. There's loads of them. Oh, that was a hoax. That's a fact of a phone. That was the secure team put that one up. Spark plug. Where's the other one with the breadboard? Here it is. Footprints. Okay. What is it though? That looks like another fake website there though. But we got at least an image to search on. Let's do Google search, is it? Or they're using their own one, Microsoft. So Microchip conspiracy. So they're saying it's a 250 million years old microchip from Russia is fake news. Okay. So yeah, that one's busted. Simple search using reverse image. So we have covered it before, but we just have to keep how do we get rid of that pop-up? Set all. I suppose it's changed where we want it. You can see the hoaxes from the past week. So where's it talking about that? Freak front page of National Geographic promotes fear. Okay. Here we go. Microchip. The Czech language fake news server World Around Us published an article about a revelation that will rewrite history. The site, which often publishes stories about foreign policy and refugees, writes that Russian fisherman Viktor Moroskov found an artifact that he donated to scientists. The site writes that the scientists tested it and found it to be some sort of microchip, about 225 million years old. That could be technology remains of civilizations, blah blah blah. This SM Daily asked mentors for the Department of Geology and Paleontology of the Facility of National Science. He identified it as a lengthwise cut of a crinoid and an organism similar to sea urchins and starfish. Okay, so the crinoids have a rich fossil record. So that's been cut, manufactured. Where is it? We've got a picture of it. Just want to see a damn picture of it. So how did they cut it? How did they compare it? Is the question. Kind of makes sense if they're cutting into rock and then that showed up. Now that would make sense that it's a fossilized stomach bone. But I can't see it being like the other photographs that we saw. Maybe. Just shows how easy fooled we are. Still, the hoax based solely on the visual resemblance of the found artifact to be a microchip garnered the attention of thousands of people. So that's 450 million years. I think that sort of nails it in the coffin though, doesn't it? So how many other matches did we get on this? Where's the white one? So if you cut that in half, made it flat, I suppose it would have little holes going to the end. See, there's a one that's white. If you cut that, would it look like the breadboard or the chip? There's not much information on that one, but looks of it. That one there. How many matches do we get? One. Then you've got the fake sites. Fake sites promoting it. I'd like to see a side by side of one of these cut in half. Now that's a true way to debunk something, right? But again, we're searching based on image, and we can see that we're getting some searches from other countries here, which is probably why it's harder to research it, because it comes from Russia. Yeah, we've got Chinese now. Yeah, certainly did go around the countries, didn't it? Microchip and stone debunked. Let's see what comes up on that one. Do not believe this hoax is a microchip. Okay, we've got one. Then we've got all the other ones popping up. So we only got one website on it. Well, we found two. It sounds like another similar story, actually. Do not believe this hoax about microchip implant and coronavirus vaccine. Sounds like something totally different. Oh well, that's it then. But yeah, always do your own research. Don't believe anything coming out of these channels. So, what did they say about it? Let's have a laugh. We'll probably have to
The
move
mystery
on,
might be dissolved at this point, that it could just well be a champion spark plug. But in my opinion, I still think there's evidence out there that does.
We're back on the spark plug again. He seems to be obsessed with the champion. Now, let's move on. Whereabouts was it? Well, actually, just close it down here. A champion. Let's get back to the original. And
the results strongly support that these beings are not closely related to any known organism on Earth.
He was able to.
Yeah, likely story.
Detect the fetus of some creature.
Looks like it's an ad coming up, doesn't it? Brian Forrester. So it looks like we have to turn that on after all. Is that the one? I hate ads. Alright. See, the shield should be blocking the ads, and it's not, so they got around that somehow. And we've lost everything there, but that's alright.
Rock after all. They say they were by interpreting the animals as astronomical symbols and using computer software.
Yeah, what do these guys say?
That the history we were taught in schools isn't the history that truly happened. Now,
oh dear. Well, the only history that wasn't taught in schools might be that the Vikings got to America first, right? But this is way more crazy than this. Talking about spark plugs and gears, and which are actually just fossilized things. What was that one? That was again the ship that sunk that had this complex clock thing in it, and that was also covered in concretions. And it wasn't ancient technology at all, it was man-made.
Pocket watch from the 1890s, gold-plated. And what we find interesting about this is typically the gears that we see inside of it, which resemble gears that are found within rocks found throughout the world. If you take a close look and you look at the craftsmanship of how this was made, how could something like this just about 130 years ago with this amazing science and technology, how could it have been made hundreds to 200 million years ago? That's the big question.
Well, scientists that know more about that subject than these guys has debunked it. Gears in a watch, so they're relating it to that. Okay, it's stupid. Shellfish. So to me, that looks like the spark plug here, right? With the two prongs pointing out. Wasn't anything like the pictures we looked at with another spark plug. So it must be any X-rays they've got. They haven't actually got a picture of the rock itself. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But the experts confirmed the X-ray. It's a 1920 spark plug. Stop going on about it.
Much older than what we were taught in school. And so the Peruvian people are warming up to the concept that civilization in this little country...
Yeah, so misdirection again here. Probably a concretion. You know, these guys make money, lots of good money from it.
Stones themselves. And then here we have Dr. Ken on the stone that has the groove in it with the holes. Again, notice what happens to the compass needle. Absolutely amazing.
So that's my
So it's got magnetized ferrous stuff embedded into the rocks. What's amazing about that? You can pick up stuff all over the place that's magnetized like that. Again, they're just making a fantasy story to buy their books and come and see their museum. It's disgusting, really. Have a watch of Ancient Aliens Debunked. It's 3 hours long, but it's well worth watching it.
Originally, most experts I know believe that the Sphinx was in the shape of a lion and its eyes...
Possible. So the next person in power didn't like the lion, decided to have it shaped into his head. Or pulled off. Got damaged somehow. So maybe someone blew it up. So they decided to put the pharaoh's head on top instead. Who knows? Who cares? We're just guessing.
As being treated as if it was a natural creation. But this pyramid over there, these Bosnian pyramids, this big one there, is really huge. Go
and do the research, GUFON. Ancient Aliens Debunked. He watched that only last year. It looks like it didn't go into his head. How they could make those great big huge slabs and how they could raise them up and all that. Simply just by using levers and rocks underneath and, you know, harder rock underneath to lever it up. And bit by swinging it back and forth, right, and putting a lemon slip of rock underneath, which doesn't get crushed. What if it does? So just repeat it again.
Is old. If we could build
so enough of that one. Let's move on. Move on to the butterflies. I know there's a whole heap of stuff that we meant to have a look over, but I think we've covered it mostly now. on third phase. If there's any ones I've forgotten, let me know. So you've got underlines there. And not so many underlines there, but there should have been some on that because we looked at it, didn't we? So again, it's pushing that undersea clock.
Third.
Check this out.
Yeah, that's
Hi,
fake.
folks. Military aerospace historian Michael Schratt.
Michael Schratt again. With his nice little drawings for stories that he finds in newspapers. Yeah. We looked at that one. And we looked at that one. And we've looked at that one. I think. Let's have a quick look.
Third.
Come on. That's got to be illumination flares being lit off. Sounds like it's in Eastern Bloc where they've got a lot of war happening. Ukraine, is it?
Yeah.
I think I can hear some explosions in the background.
But no. Yeah. Muerde.
Yeah, it's got to be flares, isn't it? What were the quick ones though? Probably gunfire. That looks like it's slowly coming down. That's gone out.
Is at least maybe 200, maybe 500 yards out, and it's illuminating the sky like something I've never seen before. But all right,
if you lived in a war zone,
Shakopee,
I'm pretty sure you'd see it before.
Minnesota.
Oh, the scary
Like
music.
perfect sighting. It's a great time of day, right when the sun was going down. We see these strange lights. You know, I
Well, you mean there could be jets coming into land?
think we're all basically being UFO hunters. We're basically nailing this down to what it is. I think they're parachute jumpers, probably with pyrotechnics.
Some people are saying in the video that exactly what you're saying, Brent, but some people are going to speculate that it's something more than just a pyrotechnic parachute jump here. But again, it's happening over.
Trying to make news out of nothing again.
Guys, and he states that.
Oh, come on, that's got to be a bunch of balloons. Come on. Contrail for plane. Definitely a contrail, right? So at a theme park, you're going to expect to see balloons, right? You're going to expect to see contrails from planes flying over here. Then you're going to see maybe some stunts like pyro skydivers. And that's their latest video. It's just terrible. Drumming up with the music and garbage dialogue they have between the two brothers. So where did we get to? I don't know if I could take much more third phase. I noticed the viewing is going down, just the same as mine is. So I think Google wants to get rid of us. Hey, they want to get rid of the Brave browser, that's for sure. because it's stopping the ads. What are we looking at? Not more planes in front of the moon. No, please no.
Night and day. But there it is. I froze it. But if we look closely, we will see this mistiness above the sky, or the sun line, right? I'm looking at it thinking that's a very thin atmosphere. Those could be clouds.
Yes, we know the moon has a thin atmosphere. Is that what they're talking about, moon? It's got a dust. It's got a fine dust. Solar wind would knock it up, wouldn't it? Moon has atmosphere. Let's see. Let's do a simple search. Moon atmosphere. The moon has a atmosphere, but it's very tenuous. Gases in the lunar atmosphere are easily lost to space because of the moon's low gravity. Light atoms such as helium receive enough energy from solar heating, so they escape. And of course, someone said, "Why there's no atmosphere?" Which is wrong. There is an atmosphere. 2013, they knew that. NASA. It also has that fine talky powder. So if you had a meteorite hit the other side of the moon, of course it's going to create a compression wave that goes around the moon, and all the dust would be pushed along like a wave, right? So maybe that's what we're seeing there. Moon, atmosphere, and dust. Just put dust. Solar wind. Let's see what it says about that. Discovered lunar dust clings to everything. So it's obviously charged, like static. Electrostatically, yep, there you go. High ultraviolet sun radiation and by the solar winds. There you go. Solar wind constantly flow around the sun. Moon dust in the wind. Earth magnetic fields, but the moon doesn't have that. So particles of lunar dust measuring one something charged by electrons from the solar wind. Moon dust could cause astronauts permanent DNA damage. Water on the moon came from solar wind. Okay, so to do the solar wind. Plasma, solar wind. Come on. Why are we even talking about it as like it's something new? It's not.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Could they be drones? Definitely, but looking at these lights, you could
come on, that's got to be drone display, isn't
tell
it?
that these objects or orbs are doing their own flight characteristics, which leads to me that they're not.
No, it looks like it's trying to spell something.
Connected. What we're looking at is a fleet of something, and what they are is a big question. And again, we're getting some close-ups on this.
It looks like it's trying to do something.
enhancing it, and John Graff did some great enhancement on this as well. And we got to roll out birds. So whatever this is, I'm hoping somebody else in Long Beach, California captured this. And if you have, send it to us right here at Third Phase Moon. We want to look at it. Important.
They want to make money from it.
But there it is. Phenomenon every season. This season.
Oh yeah, so it's not the moon. I think that's Mars, isn't it? That was the volcano where it creates. Of course, there's going to be dust storms on Mars. There's Mars, so if that's got a dust line on it, that's for sure true. Because you can see the wind here, slipstream.
Phenomenon every season. This season. In its orbit around the sun.
Yeah,
and
so
it's
confirmed it's Mars. And we know the Mars has an atmosphere.
Is water particles, believe it or not, that create this cloud. Now they say that
so they just recycle stuff. We've covered that so many times. I'm sure they played that video at least 3 times now. Are they running out of material? Oh shit, what happened there? Send a report. Yeah, you're blocking Abston Brave. Comments blocked on Brave browser. Stop that. No, it was a mistake, but I'm going to complain anyway. Bastards. Anyway, carry on. Let's say not that bloody Bulls Getter again. So they're recycling old crap here. So yeah, Michael Surratt stuff, drawings. Oh, was there anything else I need to look at? Probably not. It's all going to be depressing. Oh no, they ain't got the redhead back, have they? Oh, she's terrible.
Third.
See it maneuver quite radically to the left, even after it appears behind this other triangle.
Oh no, banner plane. No, please, no. And the other little dots we worked out was near airports. There were planes, small planes taxiing and coming in the land, that sort of stuff in the distance. It wasn't birds, so that's definitely a banner plane.
Object. So there it is, bam, and then watch it disappear, and then it'll come back and spin off to the left.
Yeah, planes. Okay.
So it's obviously in and out of the clouds, whatever that thing is. Now on top of that, there's another object flying in formation with a larger triangle. I don't even know what.
Yeah, it's called a Piper plane that tows the banner planes. You dope. Okay, let's.
Then you see other objects looking like they're going into the clouds and darting
planes. Planes do that.
Back to the black object and the object that's going the same speed. That to me looks like an airplane pulling an advertising banner.
Man, he got something right for a change.
The black thing even seems to kind of move.
That's what he was led on
in
that
a way. It's odd
episode.
But it looks like it could be one of those banners. Now, Rich, what are the other objects flying around, you ask?
Planes.
You're not going to like the answer. But most likely, it's drones.
No! Oh, we got half of it right, so let's just carry on. Oh no, not here again. With the leather gloves and the heavy makeup.
Ventura, California. Because off the coast of California, off the coast of Point Dume in Malibu, which is very close to the Ventura area, there is a large underground, what looks like...
No, there's not. That's not. No one's proved it. And this side scan sonar, isn't it? Klaus, what's her name? Chase from MUFON did a dive on a TV show, and they had a drone, and they said they couldn't see any caves down there, but it looks like the indentations is part of the natural rock formation. But anyway, we won't go into it. Now these guys are just going to keep plugging it to make money from. I can't remember what the show was now. But it's about time James Cameron, the guy that's got the high-tech gear for subs, he could go down there and create a documentary and bust these guys completely. So just more garbage. If you ever see a real UFO on Third Phase, let me know. And, the typical up-close silver disc, and then we'll be cooking. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. And if it did, the government would probably want their hands on it. Anyway, let's move on to the butterflies and wrap up on that. UFO proof spheres. So I suppose we could quickly go through that too. So let's start off with the butterfly UFOs. So this guy here, Travis, obviously a sky watcher of some sort, is seen in these videos. So let's have a quick look at these videos and talk about it. How's the audio sounding? 1, 2, 3. Looking good. Can't hear any crackle, but sometimes I miss. So yeah, can you see the UFOs, people? Loads of UFOs. Obviously the sun is going to illuminate because it's illuminating the clouds, right? So the sun there is good for illuminating anything that's going to be in the sky. Unfortunately, we haven't got a YouTube of this, so I'll make it big screen and we'll go over it as best we can. And looks like the alien stone on top. So, what do you see? Nicely illuminated clouds. So whereabouts is the sun? What angle are we looking at here? Ah, I see something. Here it comes. And it looks like it's flittering. Changing angles. Going back the same direction. Or slightly. And you see the fluttering? And they're saying it's spinning, but it's not. Okay, let's watch that again. And maybe I can zoom in. So, are we seeing anything yet? Seeing compression artifacts. See how the cloud sort of distorts. You can see atmospherics there, where the light's sort of bending in strange places. You can see it sort of that mirage effect that you get. Clouds are moving closer. Here we go, there's something. Just zooming past, I probably just missed it. Gone. Okay. Which looks like it's closer to the camera than it is to the clouds. It doesn't look like it was a very big object. There we go, another one. So you can come there. It's got to be lower down to us. You can see here, it looks like it keeps changing shape, which means it's going to be less reflective and sending more light to the sensor to be able to detect it. And it's gone very quickly. And they always seem to be heading in the same direction, right? See anything else? Not seeing anything else, but we know there's something coming soon. Okay, here's one here. Don't know if we can get a zoom right onto it, and we certainly can't do a frame by frame. I don't think it works. No, it doesn't work the same as YouTube, so that button doesn't work. Let's move the camera. It's down here now. Now look, it's flapping the wings, gaining height again. There we go. Flap, 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 flap. Let's pick up the air current there. Okay. That was the one we wanted. There it is. Okay, but to be able to zoom into it on that side there is a bit hard. See, it's rotating, going in different directions. That, guys, is what you call butterfly. And they're probably at 1,000 feet there, probably. It could be a white butterfly, but not necessarily. It could be a coloured one with a really reflective underneath. The emerald butterflies can also reflect light underneath like that. And of course it gets overexposed by the sun. So yeah, butterfly UFOs. Now this guy wouldn't have it. A single hand Italy had dropped better pictures and footage than all the big name accounts. They're all on it, hiding and amazing tech from us. I hope the video is off Air Force practicing or something. No, it's called Nature. So I did some analysis here. Zoomed in the object, you can see that is a certain pattern to it, triangle shape. I drew the outline around and then moved it up in the corner here and shrunk it down. And I think it's these desert white butterflies of Arizona. But he hasn't given me the location. So I said, is it in Arizona or California? Because there's a lot of migration of butterflies at the moment. And of course he didn't answer, I don't think. But he didn't like my analysis anyway. Sky watchers never do. But I just follow the facts, right? All I see is dots in the sky, no big saucer. Yep, back to little dots again. They saw that video, looks like bugs on initial look, since they are going all over the place. I don't think it's air current, and pollen, to be sure, needs zooming in, stabilizing, so I did. You can clearly see a large cloak craft. So guys, did you see any large cloak craft there? I saw a lot of little tiny ones and seem to be focusing on that. I see butterflies, deal with it. 90% of videos are BS, mundane, natural, man-made stuff. Aliens don't fly around like that. They zoom vertically down over forests and houses in a split second. If you listen to most of the credible cases, they all do this. Typo, they... Join our Discord group and submit the original source, or upload to Google Drive and post the link here. Okay. Location, date and time, and direction looking. Yep, so I asked him for it. I recall there's a butterfly migration from South America to Arizona, California, and top state locations about this time of year. Well, a simple snap from the video zoomed, zero enhancement. It don't look UFO-like. Wing-like to me, either reflecting the sun or white, or both actually. And then I did find some time to do a quick analysis on it, sharpen it, color alteration, and I found this quote here on Google. Monarchs begin to move into higher elevations in May and June and breed until late August. In late August and early September, breeding monarchs move into the lower deserts, laying eggs. There you go. So you expect to see them over deserts. Air Force practicing? I don't think so. The moving wings can see now, and mostly going in the same way. GUFON had a similar video and was also smack in the middle of the butterfly migration across 17 years. He couldn't figure that out and calls it aliens. He's not able to listen because of his low IQ. Typo couldn't, yeah, okay. So I did this video on that. I'll give you a link to Twitter and you can have a read through it or have a watch of the video. Again, that's what I call disappointment again. You know, I thought someone had something decent. Even if it was a military aircraft that we haven't seen before, it would have been really good, but that's just garbage. Butterflies, UAPs, and you can watch my other live on GUFON thing. And it was very similar to that, right? He was saying they were emitting their own light, which is bollocks. Because he did film it at night time, right? And that's a good point though. Is there butterflies that do glow in the dark? And there might be, I don't know. Glow, can butterflies produce light? There might be some breed out there that's sort of figured out how to see at night time so they can fly at night. You never know. Produce light. Oh, I mistyped it. Let's see. Yes, butterflies derive nutrients from deceased animals. Some people will be surprised to learn that in addition to sensing ultraviolet light, butterflies can also emit ultraviolet light waves through their wings. There you go. See, I didn't know that, and I just did a search. Can butterfly wings make you blind? Some people believe that the scales of butterfly wings can make you blind. This is not true. They can irritate your eyes. Yep, makes sense. A bit like cat fur, cat skin. So yeah, always learning something new on this site, aren't you? Do butterflies like light? Do butterflies have good eyesight? Well, they've got little lenses. But their eyes beat us in other ways. Their visual fields are larger, they're better at perceiving fast-moving objects, and they can distinguish ultraviolet and polarizing light. So we just learnt they can emit ultraviolet light. Can butterflies reflect lots of light? Advanced optics. Butterflies are not only the only species to use light reflection in their survival. Okay. Dragonflies, moths manipulate light that scientists are still starting to investigate. Here we go. 2004. So yeah. So now they know they've got ultraviolet. Oh, look at that one. Now, if that was flying in the sky, you'd think it was emitting light, wouldn't you? Sun reflecting off it. Whether that's in America, I don't know. But you get quite a lot of species of butterfly flying in California, Arizona. White ones, monarchs. That wasn't really what we were after though, that page. Butterflies have extreme colour vision. Attracts mates. Photovoltaics, light absorption. Butterfly electric glow. Too much sitting around could hurt your mental health. Well, that's us doomed in on live streams. They're talking about ultraviolet light there. Fluorescence to reflect out the top of the wing. So it's possible they do emit light and they can show up. There you go. Just do the research there, GUFON. Go watch the video again. This one down here. Now, I did actually find another video that shows us how butterflies fly. And they can spin and do acrobatic movements in the air. It's quite amazing. But where is it? Is that this next one? Did I post it on that one? No. It's that GUFON one again. But if I play this one, I'll just play a clip of it anyway. Always best to give your footage to another video analysis guy. Now, he claims he did, but I don't know how good his video analysis guys. I bet it wasn't Mark D'Antonio or someone with my expert video skills. Although he doesn't like me, as you know. He thinks I'm a non-critical thinker with no skills.
Well, the sighting was 318. I can't play any sound here. I
So
can do very
that's
little
afternoon.
because it's Howard Stern in the background. I was driving. Yes, I know what you're going to say.
So this is an amazing
I can
UFO
already hear
fleet,
it.
guys. So
Just
strap
wait,
yourselves
you'll
in. Don't pee on the bed or the chair.
That was out of focus. Stop it.
So we got little white specks of
Watch.
light here, very similar to what we just watched. Yeah, it looks like it could be at the same location. You reckon he deleted it? He may have done.
Howard Stern had on Cold Stone Steve Austin.
So can you see any UFOs, guys?
Alright, I'm just going to let it go. "30 degrees up at an angle." They were right there, above the road, and these flashes caught my attention.
Yeah.
And I was looking up, I'm like,
That's very
oh, it must
similar
be
to
a
what we
plane,
watched.
you know, reflecting the sun or something. And then I kept seeing these little tiny dots just twinkling in the daytime at noon.
Butterflies. So yeah, go and have a watch of it. It's on that tweet. Where's the other video uploaded though? That was very good. I hate Twitter where it does the trees, the comment trees. Doesn't expand them all out. Okay, there might be 3 on that one. He still thinks it's human tech. No, that's not. That's butterflies. Where's my video? Here we go. No. What was that one? Oh yeah, they were bitching about Ron and James. Remember, that's the guy that set up MUFON TV. That just proves that the guy is a fraud himself because he wants to team up with Third Phase. Like I keep saying, if you want to team up with big channels that have been caught hoaxing and being deceptive, it's not good for your reputation. Alright.
Was it the Clark Kent glasses? I mean, that's the same hair. That's the guy. You're a credible UFO. First of all, let's just say this. The UFO UAP expert? There are no experts, Ron James. Can we just call him what he is? Ron Jeremy?
There are experts in video analysis and all that. No experts in aliens and UFOs per se, but there's experts in investigating and eliminating and also video analysis. But Ron is no expert on anything, that's for sure. Stop playing my video, little shit.
Was it the Clark Kent glasses? I mean, so Third Phase responded, right? Let me pull it up. Oh, they sent it. That was sent to my phone by accident. Okay, so let's go there. Right? So, Thirdphasepfmoon says...
He always makes me laugh, this guy. He's so disorganized.
After they read the... Oh, okay, so they say, I'll pass. Thank you. And then Ron James comes back and says... After I was so nice to you at Greer's premiere, LOL, just unsubscribe and keep up the good hoaxing. So Blake says, have a nice day. By the way, I never met you. And Ron James says, I know where I know you from. When Roger Lear died, you guys did a video about him and let me include it in the 5-disc Roger Lear tribute DVD set. He was my friend. It was pretty cool. So after Blake says, I'll pass, thank you, on doing an interview with this guy, the guy says, unsubscribe and keep up the good hoaxing. This is supposed to be somebody who's presenting themselves as 2 decades in the field doing incredible work, professional looking TV interviews, all this stuff, pumping himself up. Basically,
MUFON TV is a piece of crap. It really is. And even the cases they put up was really good. UFO cases were garbage. Remember that guy that was walking around in the car yard or whatever it was, talking to himself, and he was filming Christmas lights dangling in a tree that was out of focus. Here they come, they're coming down. It's just hopeless. But yeah, for Ron to reach out to Third Phase and join their dream panel to try and get on Amazon, just shows why ufology is so damaged.
It's like you're begging Third Phase or anybody else to have you on their show with this incredible resume of accolades. And he calls himself an expert. He's an expert at douche baggery. That is so rude to say that after. So what you're telling me, Ron Jeremy, is that you were going to fake being nice to Thirdphasepfmoon because they have the largest platform now on YouTube for UFOs. You were going to hide your feelings.
There's no wonder though, because Ron and Chase, they sucked up to Secure Team, who is twice the size, right? And security team thought it was really good that he was going to get interviewed by MUFON and be on their show, and everybody jumped up and said, "No, don't do that. That's stupid. You're just giving him more power. He's a hoaxer and he's deceptive, just like Third Phase." And now they're going to Third Phase. Crazy. This is why ufology is so damaged. People that are meant to be credible investigators, I assume this guy used to be an investigator, then started up MUFON TV, is he's out just to try and make money, obviously.
About how much you dislike Thirdphasepfmoon, so you could get on their platform. I know it happens all the time, guys.
GUFON
but when
did
it's
the same.
this, I mean, this guy actually came out and said it to them. He was mad because they turned him down. I'm unsubscribing, and I think I know you. I think I remember you. We met at John Lear. He was my friend. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, he's like a 5-year-old. You're not gonna have me on? Well, have fun hoaxing, you. He doesn't want me on, Ma. He doesn't want us on. What did I do wrong? What did I do? I know you. I know I met you, Blake. Blake, I know you. What was wrong? Was I...
You met him in a gay pub afterwards, maybe. Champion.
Too forward? Was my approach too obvious? Did I try too hard? I mean, you could tell me. I mean, just, you know what? Forget it. I'm unsubbing. And that's that.
Anyway. Enough of that. I start to laugh at these buffoons and make my eye water. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't find the thing that I did, but maybe I can go back to my page and find it. Of the butterflies, which I thought was a really good one. Good video. Be down here somewhere. Alien. Oh, here it is. Have a look at this off slow motion of the butterfly. You can see how they can move. It looks very similar to that video. What they can backflip and turn, and basically
aerodynamic maneuvers to fly. Appendage that we're seeing here is called a proboscis, and it's what butterflies use to feed. So it's kind of like with their feet.
So you can see how butterflies move. But they can go quite high, 30,000 feet I think it is. How high? I think it's in that video that I recommend to watch of mine, debunking GUFON's video. But we'll have a quick look here, butterflies. Go. Let's see if we can find out here. Maybe I was wrong. 11,000 feet. Which is quite high. Highest I've ever seen, but it doesn't mean they don't go higher. 2 miles high is 10,000 feet. Songbird migration. We've got 17,000 feet here. Some butterflies have been seen, been observed flying at 20,000 feet. So there you go, that's been updated. What's that one say? That one's got 37,000 feet. Was it feet? Yeah, it said feet here. So there you go, it's been updated. So even higher than what I thought. Recorded is 11,000 meters. Oh, hang on, it's talking about bird there. Butterflies have been seen at 6,000, 20,000 feet is the highest for butterflies, 37 for birds. How about that? So just keep that in mind when you're filming UFOs, that it could be natural. And just look for the telltale wing flap, because... So, third UFO put this garbage out here. A 2-time felon guy for stealing and selling stolen goods has been in court. He fled the state, so he never did the time. You can find that online doing public searches. So let's play this. Great, error straight away. I don't think we're getting the comments showing up still, are we? Nope, it doesn't matter. So let's play what he's saying here and just talk about it.
I don't know if it's something about Tepos land, about the geography of the area or the different minerals and the rocks, but there seems to be all kinds of different UFOs over there.
So what tells us that it's a UFO, not a balloon just drifting in air current, right? Doesn't sort of shoot off vertically or go left and right, you know. It's certainly just drifting along.
Over there. And here's another UFO video from, this one's actually from Brazil. And I found a couple of them that look real similar to this one right here, so I'll add those in. But
okay, look, change shape slightly there too. Doesn't look so much like a sphere now, does it? Ah, what happened there?
This week in censorship, James O'Keefe got banned from Twitter permanently. You may recall back in
okay.
Escape is actually in.
Yeah, looks like we hit the wrong button again. Doesn't like us playing anymore. What's Google up to? Let's go back to that.
Off of it, it's just really cool.
And
this is probably about the same, 4-foot diameter sphere that what's it doing down there?
Yeah.
Doing something, obviously, right here, so I'll add those in. But you see, this is a real interesting video. Look at this.
Okay, so you see, notice how it faded there. That's because it turned. And it means it's not a round side. It's got a vertical side, like a round Mylar balloon, right? It's going to be something like Mylar, that's sort of spinning. Mylar balloon, silver, probably most reflective. It's going to be like one of these ones that are not actually a sphere, but I don't know if we can get a side view of them, but they're like two half domes, like, well, basically like a UFO, I guess, joined together, right? They're not actually spheres. They're actually like a button. I don't know what word would you use for it. A side view. So I want a side view. But when it spins around, obviously it's going to reflect less light. So you got to watch out for the characteristics, right? That what we're seeing is not a sphere, but maybe a different type of shape. I'll just check the audio. Okay. Are we corrupting? Clickety click sounds. Can't hear anything. Must be alright then. So why is no one joining me on the side chat on Twitch? What's wrong with Twitch? Does everybody hate Twitch now? I know they did ban some people. Where's the side view of one of these balloons? Someone's got to have a picture here somewhere. Well, that's sort of side view there. See, you can see that it's like two halves. Not the best of pictures for what we want. I want to see them in a birthday party, really. Where they're rotating around in video or something. Well, that's a good idea. Maybe look at video. Video. Orb balloons. Orbs. What's this? Advertising? For weddings. There's big ones, the little tiny ones. Terrible. Straight away music. What's this guy trying to do? Yeah. That's what I mean. So it's like that on the side. So as that spins around, it's going to be reflective more one side. It's amazing what you can get. Here we go. Is that a heart-shaped one? No. It's going to be a big round one. Come on, keep blowing up. No. Kind of looks like a round one, but it's not. Spin it around for us. You can see it's got seams. Oh, he's not going to do it. Fishing line. Try them all together. So they make these nice arches for winds. He almost showed us. Didn't quite get there. But I think you know what I mean. I'll leave it there. I do like looking at other people's videos of balloons, but you can see this is obviously spinning in the wind. So you can see that's the flat side coming around again.
This goes right down.
You can see it tumbling
into the fucking forest. Like, what's it?
Oh, this guy's a foul mouth.
Doing down there?
Maybe it popped. And simply crashed to the ground.
Doing something, obviously didn't just go down there for nothing.
And this guy was meant to be a debunker. What a joke. Yeah, so how's that any different to what we just watched with a guy blowing up one?
Now here's a UFO. This is just like one of my UFO experiences with the black sphere, and this one is incredibly...
That's not black, it's the silver, and the sun's on the other side.
Close, it's floating over somebody's house that had the same exact experience. This awesome. This took place in
silver,
LA, I believe.
It's just not illuminated.
Look, it's just right.
Look, it's because it's at sunset. Look, that's why, or sunrise. So it's not illuminated. That's why it looks black.
Mine was actually a lot closer than this one, but this is still a fascinating video. You can see the sun reflecting off of it. It's just
These
really
guys
cool.
are such bullshitters.
And this is probably about the same, 4-foot diameter sphere that I had seen.
Look how fast that's traveling. Okay, so we got a reference in the wind here at all. Looks like it's high up there.
This week in censorship, James O'Keefe got banned from Twitter permanently. You may recall back in February, Project Veritas' account got banned after...
Escape is actually in this UFO and goes right down to the water.
We
just love the ocean for something. I swear to God, they just love water. There's so many UFOs that become USOs and vice versa.
Well, if they're losing gas, makes sense they're going to land
But look
in
how
the
you can see a
water.
reflection of the water below it and everything.
What you get with balloons.
Yeah, I'm just assuming these style of UFOs are all just kind of collecting data. You know, now this appears to be a little craft. There might be a little, you know, alien in that motherfucker. Look at this thing, dude. This is like a
That looks like a Mylar balloon to me.
Clear daylight video of a straight up fucking UFO flying saucer style. You know, I mean, look at this thing.
Okay, that looks like one of those fishing balloons. Someone's towing it down. See, it's coming down on an angle.
This is just funny looking, right? I mean, if you know,
I bet they got a camera on it so they can sort of put the balloon up and get an aerial photograph for tourists.
no, I could see the other UFOs picking on this one. You know, oh, it's a little fat little kid UFO.
Here's a similar one that he's putting together. And this one goes right down to the shoreline. Someone's using it for fishing line. I think that might be a line down here. Look. You can see something at the edge of the thing there, dangling down. It's a fishing balloon.
UFO, you know, get out of here, you fucking bum.
Okay, that might have been the bird flying past. But still, it's a fishing balloon.
If they had a team to pick, like this one would be last. Look at this, isn't that cool? And goes right down to the water. Look at its shape, dude. Look at that.
Yeah, look at the shape. It looks like a Mylar balloon.
That's so cool. That's like a diamond style UFO.
And it's such old. There's a seagull passing it. It looks like it's got silver and different coloured bits sewn together there, actually. So millions of people, only one managed to film it, and it's a UFO. And to me, it looks like there's a guy standing there at the edge of the embankment going down. Yeah, suddenly it stops recording there. Why is that? Suspicious.
I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's a fishing balloon, and it's not identical, but it's obviously similar.
They appear to be real similar UFOs, don't they? Quickly to the side. I mean, this is nuts. Look at that. There's appears to be a second UFO right next to it. And what's this other light over here off in the corner? I don't know. Is that another UFO? Is that a star? If it's in New York, I doubt it's a star, because you don't see stars over New York. There's simply just too much light. There's so much light pollution, you just don't see them. So here's the first video. Stabilized various filters.
Alright, so don't know what it is.
So you can see.
Normally when you have bits dropping down, it's illumination flares and they're being shot at. Is it in New York? Or is this the one that was wrongly labelled to be New York and it was actually in Ukraine? Where they drop a bunch of flares and they light up all at the same time. And then they calibrate their guns on the ground to try and shoot them. And when they shoot the parachutes, some of them fall down faster.
You see, there might be a second UFO and maybe even a third one over there.
I don't know if that's New York. Let's have a look.
Much light pollution, you just don't see them. So here's the first video. Stabilized various filters. So quickly to the side. I mean, New York, man. I got two videos of the same busting narcos. He's filming UFO. Now this is a couple videos came from New York, man. I got two videos of the same incident, which is really cool because you can see this UFO dispensing what appears to be other UFOs, and then these other UFOs joining together.
So it could still be like an event as well, where they have skydivers come down in a group and then some of them shoot down further. And then release a second parachute, have multiple parachutes. But it could be Ukraine. I'm pretty sure this one might be mislabeled location.
You can see this UFO dispensing what appears to be other UFOs, and then these other UFOs joining together and then zipping off away.
I don't know if we can find it. New York UFO dropping orbs, maybe. These are New York City UFO footage. Let's have a look. Probably a seagull on TV camera, is it? Is that the one we're after? No, it's not going to play. Something going on there. Have we got any stills? That one's not going to play for us. We do that. You got ad blocker on. Auto play was blocked. Yeah, but we're clicking the play button. Should work. Look, it won't let us go backwards even. What have they done to it? It's one of those sites that screws up the location in the browser. Well, that one's locked up completely. Oh, it's time to end the show, guys. We've been hijacked. Alright, here we go. Obviously, I had a lot of secret JavaScript there in New York. UFO drop-in orbs. What happened there? Images, let's see. UFS force baffled. Can't see the video he had up. Sparks Paddock. Okay, so drop-ins, maybe drop-ins, drop-in. Here we go. Doesn't look like his footage. I bet it's not in. But it's not in New York. I bet if you put UFO drop-in, probably come up. Flares. Could be a flare. Flares, they look like flares, right? Out of focus. That generally looks like flares being dropped by aircraft going past. What's that one? Okay. Whereabouts is that? Releases other UFOs. Want a location. Security. Oh dear. Okay, that's it. Okay, illumination flares. What location was it though? Yeah, well, if it's security, it's not what we're after. What's that one say? No good. Okay, I'm not too sure where they got the video from. Tried to find it. Looks like it's at night time when they do practice.
Quickly to the side. I mean, this is nuts. Look at that. There's appears to be a second UFO right next to it.
That one looks like it's a plane that dropped the flares, or the helicopter that dropped the cluster flares flying away.
And what's this other light over here off in the corner? I don't know. Is that another UFO? Is that a star? If it's in New York, I doubt it's a star, because you don't...
Does that look like New York there, though? I reckon it could be like one of those display events where the skydivers come down.
See stars, yeah.
Over a stadium. If it is New York, that's if it is. I don't know.
Over New York, there's simply just too much light. There's so much light pollution, you just don't see them.
Alright, let's just carry on.
The most populated city on Earth. So it makes sense that there would be, if you're going to have UFO sightings, that it's going to be in Mexico. Of course, also it would make sense because
Mexico is full of these balloons, right? They have these squarish type balloons. I can't remember what they're called now.
You have more eyes to actually...
Mexican festival balloons. Let's see. Mexico, they have those sort of diamond-shaped cornered ones. Let's go. Festival balloons. But again, none of those impress me. If it was like a classic flying saucer that just stood there and shot up vertically and disappeared, no, that would be more impressive to me. Because it discounts anything conventional then. G-forces and all that sort of stuff. Okay, let's see. Do we get to the right balloons? Okay, the Hot Air Balloon Festival in Mexico, of all places, but then again, that would be the place to do it. Big open spaces and calm winds and heat. And there's one shaped like a butterfly. There's one that's shaped like a big multiple balloons. Darth Vader, SpongeBob. Yeah, so we're the festival ones. Obviously going to have to use the right name. Festival balloons, but not hot air. Does that sort of lower it down? Yes, I can't see the ones I'm after. I think they got a special name for them. Let's see, diamond shape. They're like 40 inches big as well. They're quite big. Yep. And none of those. Mexico. Nope. Maybe I need to say Mylar or something. Again, it looks like I'm not going to be able to find it, so I might just... A bit like these ones here, I guess. But more diamond shape rather than triangular shape. Yeah, they have a certain name, but I can't remember. Diamond, balloon, Mexico. Well, let's just get rid of Mexico. See what can make. Still got these ones. Let's get closer to it. Happy birthday. Yeah, you can see that being released into the sky as people seeing it as a UFO. Got cube ones. Still not seeing one of those colourful South American, Mexican type balloons though. But yeah, quite a lot of strange shapes there. You name it, humans can make it. In a balloon at least. Okay. Better movie on. Has he got any
See
more?
these things, so
See, doesn't it look like what we just looked at there with the diamond shaped balloon, right? Or the triangle one that had a sort of like a little tiny top on it and it sort of come down.
that's why you'd get so many more videos coming out of a place like Mexico.
They like the balloons there, that's why.
I mean, look at it. It looks just like it. Now, could it be a drone? I don't think so, because if it was, it would be completely inverted, because we see it.
It's one of those silver Mylar balloons. We just looked at it. Anyway, I don't know if he's got anything else here apart from those ones. Just garbage, you know. Anyway, just disappointing again. I must get start looking at some MUFON cases. At least we might get something better there, instead of repeating the same old garbage all the time. What was that one? Yeah, I think we covered that one. Let's see what's been happening lately. Blue phase, lights in the sky. Oh no, not the diamond shaped balloon again. Straight away. What's that one there? That's kind of interesting. Kind of weird. Kind of looks a bit fake. Is that a laptop here? He's showing a video on a laptop. What have we got here? Fuddy, whispery clouds. Yeah, I think MUFON are getting more and more fakes all the time. Taking a picture that didn't notice UFO behind them. So we have to go and do some MUFON next time and forget about these fraud channels and see what we can find to look at. We'll have a quick look at that one there while we're here. California. Various videos. I might keep that one there for next time, maybe. Next time we saw orbs in the video. Well, if they didn't see it with their eyes, what are we looking at? That's got to be a balloon, surely. Is that all we got? One photograph. Waves. You can see seagull. hell's that? That looks like it could be a light. Looks like it has a wee bit of a top bit to it. Can see birds in the sky. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about there. Have we got time to play a video? It's got me interested now. Let's see. Oh. Meet it. Okay, well, we're watching their fun rides. Yeah, he's aiming at the sun. No effects. But where's this one with the round thing? Really pixelated video, hasn't it? It's not and he's filming it the wrong way, really. Right, there you go. Is that what he's talking about? Lens flare. Just coming in. There you go, lens flare. I thought it was going to be really good. I thought it really was. And it's just more garbage. Lens flare. So where would that one be? This one here, box what? Lens flare, aiming at the sun. Oh my god, I thought we were going to get something decent then. So, lens flare. Have we got lens flare on that one? Seagulls. I can't see any lens flare. Well, the sun's out to the side here, by the looks of it. This guy's just having us on. Must be. Recorded videos. Well, let's see. I'm going to compare. When I saw them, I seen blue orbs in the videos. See how it's got funny characters here. It looks like a cut and paste job from somewhere else. Trademark. It's a fake. Fake. Okay, what's this one say? Agreed. Lens reflection, yep. That moves with you. Lens flare. Well, I thought we were looking at that object, you know. I don't see it in here though. I don't see any lens flare. Seagulls. Garbage. See, even MUFON let us down. Too many people watch Third Phase of the Moon and submit in there. And don't understand camera technology and artifacts that they produce. What happened there? It's not showing any picture. So we'll just go through random ones sometime, just catch up on what's going on in MUFON, I guess. Terribly slow site though, as you can see. What's that? I don't know. Looks like it's been mucked around in the editor to me. I don't know. Streaks, dots in the sky. Can someone please film us a silver UFO from 300 feet away? Is that too much to ask for? All that cameras out there. Even a TR-3B would be alright. And here we go, blue UFO again. Okay. Let's wrap it up for the day. Now we're sort of caught up now on the garbage out there. Let's face it, you're not going to get a decent UFO picture. Okay, what's that one there? A dot in the sky. It could be a bug, could be a bird, it could be a balloon. 6 or 10 UFOs leaving a strange black rectangular cloud. That sounds like a Piper plane. Towing a banner plane. A banner, I mean. Banner plane towing a banner. And it's too far away to see the shape of it on that. Just another garbage one. It sounds like a Piper and a thing. Again, it's one of those you'd have to plug in to Flight Radar if it's not too old, which it is. So you need the gold membership to be able to plug it in and see if there's any banner planes flying around. And I hate those ones because they take ages to do because of the map they use. It's not linked to Google very well, or at all actually. Anyway, I've got to get going. It's getting late here. Close to dinner time. So yeah, we can look at it next time maybe. But yeah, I've got so many other projects I need to do. So I'll say good night. And I'll upload this after dinner probably. Good night all. See you next time for more UFO vids. And the alien's been working perfectly fine up in the corner there. Okay, good night. Winding down. Hit the wrong button. Yeah, I'm just going to end it quickly now, rather than right for the right end.